I made this random guy $3,000 on his very first day with a brand new AI business model that everybody can do. You don't have to be technical for this business model at all, and I am going to walk through exactly how it works in today's video. So this is Elliot, and on his first day, he closed a £2,000 AI audit. Now, we're going to be discussing exactly what an AI audit is in a moment. Now, he had massive imposter syndrome, which is like anybody who's getting into a brand new business model. But like Nike says, he just did it. And the outcome he got was he made $3,000 or £2,000 on his very first day. Okay. So how did he actually go ahead and achieve this? And what is the business model? So the business model I am talking about here, I like to call AIC, which stands for AI Consulting. Okay. Now, AI consulting has one key thing that it does, okay, which is an AI audit. Now, an AI audit specifically helps traditional businesses identify current inefficiencies and workflows within their business that can be realistically solved by AI. So AI consultants are going to HVAC companies, manufacturing, engineering, supply chain, any traditional business you can think of, this works for. And they are going to bridge this gap and show these businesses exactly how they can become AI first businesses. Because AI is not a choice. Companies don't get to decide whether they want to evolve and adapt to AI. If they do not adapt to AI, they're going to get crushed by the competitors that do. So right now, what is going on is there is hundreds of millions of companies worldwide that have absolutely no clue how they specifically can adopt AI in their business, and you are going to be bridging that gap for them. Now, you might be wondering, well, how do I do that? So that is exactly what we're about to run through. So let's start off with actually how do you go ahead and get clients, and exactly how Elliot got clients as well. Elliot had an SEO agency previously, and it was failing. He was struggling and was losing clients because of AI. So if you've had a previous business, or if you've worked for a big company, you've got a decent chunk of corporate experience where you've got a lot of contacts, what you do is exactly what Elliot did. And you reach out to your network. So these are the network of people, and they have three things in your favor. They have K, which stands for no. They have L, which stands for like, and they have T. So they have the know, like, trust factor. So when you reach out to these individuals and you say, hey, I want to come in and do an AI audit on your business, I'm going to highlight the inefficiencies within your company that can be solved via AI so you can make more money and save more time. What happens is people say yes. Now, the conversion rate on an AI audit offer is over 80%. I have many people just like Elliot who have closed their first deal from their first message, all right? So he's not an outlier case. There is tons of other people over here who are making substantially even more, like Didac over here made 100K, Josh here's made 24K, right? Who've made substantially more and have done it from their first few contacts. It's wild, okay? So you're going to be going to your network and you're going to say, hey, I do AI consulting for the industry that you're familiar with or the industry you want to go into. So in Elliot's case, it was an accounting company. And then what you do is you run the audit process. Now, the audit process is not technical at all. So if you've ever sent a Google Meet invite or a Zoom invite, you've jumped on an online meeting call and you've actually helped someone solve a problem in a virtual environment, and you've built a presentation or a deck like a PowerPoint or Google Slides, you already have the skills required to do this. So let me walk you through exactly what is in an audit. So the first thing is you have two sets of interviews, right? So the interviews are with stakeholders. So that's directors, managers, people who make the decisions, and employees, so the people actually doing the tasks. Because you need to understand from the person making the decision to the job actually getting done exactly what that whole workflow looks like. You are then going to map out exactly what that workflow looks like, and that is going to be one of the things you present to a company. Now, this is hugely valuable to them in a couple of guises, because one, 99.9% of companies have never actually mapped out their end-to-end processes, which is what we're going to be doing. And within this, we are going to be identifying where AI can actually help their current workflows. So what we're looking at is we're looking at this map and we're identifying where AI fits in. We then make what you call an opportunity matrix. And don't worry about this, it's not technical, but basically it looks something like this. And you have something called quick wins, which are the ones that we focus on as AI consultants, and you'll have something called big swings, which tend to be much more developer heavy. So the quick wins are things within a business that are very easy for them to do. So it could be even off-the-shelf software that they don't know about that could be implemented, or it could be simple no-code tools, right, that can be implemented that actually help them streamline this workflow. Now, in a traditional company, you're probably going to have, let's say, at a low end, 5 of these that you could pull out that will provide immediate value to a business. Then what you are going to do is you are going to do an ROI calculation for these opportunities. You're going to pull them all out and you're going to say, this is how much time, effort, money you are wasting on these workflows. So I'll give you an example. We did an audit on a company with their sales team, and every day, every single sales rep was spending 2 hours a day sourcing 100 leads that they wanted to reach out to every day. That was completely automated with a very simple workflow that worked out to save them hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and ultimately allowed the company to grow because their sales reps were doing the thing they should have been doing, which was selling and not trying to find leads. Then the final part of the audit process here is we do a presentation. Now, this is where the rubber really meets the road. So we are presenting our audit to the founder, to the C-suite, whoever it is. And we basically say, hey, this is where you're at currently, yeah? And this is the AI version of you that you want to be. And this is how you're going to get there, right? And we can give them a full roadmap. Now, typically, these are in 90-day increments. So your roadmap might look like this, and then you'll do something like this, and then like this. And each of these would represent a 30-day increment. So you might have 30, 60, 90. And within each of these segments, we are actually doing, 1 or 2 workflow optimizations, depending on how complicated they are. So in this example, I'll give you 3. And then we say at the end of this quarter, you should have expected to pay, for example, $50K for implementation, but in the first 90 days, you could have even saved $50K. Like, that is not even that uncommon, depending on what you've identified within a business. Now, at the end of the audit process, so as consultants, we focus, and I focus, like my company, Dunn & Company, we just really focus on the auditing process. That is like 95% of all the money I make in this process. But then you can do the implementations, right? Now, the implementations for people like Didak over here, who closed a $100K deal from a $7,500 audit, that's because he did the implementations too. But you absolutely don't have to. This is how non-technical people are going ahead and making an absolute killing in the AI revolution, okay? Because there is so many people that are focused on the implementation side who started AI automation agencies, technical agencies. They wanted to learn all the tools because they wanted to build AI apps and stuff like that. But the reality is traditional businesses don't want some random app. They want someone to come in and understand their business specifically. We do that through an audit, which is exactly what Elliot did, right? He got paid £2,000 for that audit and then helped identify that business, a load of opportunities. And I now know, since this is actually a screenshot has been taken, he is actually fulfilled on this. And it was over a £15,000 implementation deal on just the very front end, on the first couple of little bits that he's actually gone ahead and done for them, with an additional pipeline of implementations that can be done if he wants to, and if they also want to do that too. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to learn even more about starting your own AI consulting business, you can check out this video up here, and please make sure to subscribe and drop a like. It really helps me out a lot.